Hey, Angie Nelson here from theworkathomelife.com. There's nothing quite like the fear of writing your resume. Job hunting is bad enough, but then you have to sell yourself in words before you even get an interview. And what if you don't have much experience or you have employment gaps on your resume? I understand that fear. And today I'm going to be talking to you about how to overcome some of those resume woes. Make sure you stay until the end of the video to find out how you can get my job search checklist free. Now, the first concern we're going to be addressing today is minimal work history. So maybe you just got out of school, or maybe you became a stay-at-home mom at a young age. Whatever the reason, maybe you don't have a lot in the way of employment to list on your resume. Now, the good news is that this isn't a disaster. The trick is to know what counts as experience and to build your resume accordingly. Now, even if you haven't had a lot in the way of traditional employment, maybe you've done some other things. Perhaps you were a babysitter or a dog sitter or a dog walker. You have work experience and you've developed skills and traits such as accountability, punctuality, customer service, and a lot more. Maybe you've worked as a volunteer or an intern. Those are all experiences that you can draw from in order to get the skills and the traits that employers are looking for on a resume. Now, our next concern is gaps in work history. And this is a concern that I hear quite a bit from my community. We all know that it's not good to have large gaps in your employment history, even if there's some really good reasons to explain it. Now, the good news is that when we're talking about work-at-home employment, we are often dealing with a special kind of resume. Now, a chronological resume is what most of us are most familiar with. It's what we were taught in high school how to create, where you're listing every position that you've ever had in chronological order, along with bullet points for the specific tasks or skills that you had to have in that position. Now, when we're talking about work-at-home employment, a functional resume is often what's most appropriate. And a functional resume allows you to really cherry pick those skills and those positions that work and are most relevant to the position that you're applying to. So, we're really going to be showcasing your skills as opposed to your work history, and that'll allow you to downplay those gaps in history. Another thing that you can draw on to help cover up those gaps is to think about what you were doing during those periods. Maybe you were caring for children or an elderly parent. Mine that experience for some applicable skills that you can include on your resume, such as home care or schedule management, appointment booking, anything like that. Now, the next concern we're going to talk about is too much work history, or sometimes people will refer to this as job hopping. Now, job hopping can be just as negative, as not more, on your application and resume as those gaps in employment. Some employers will view this as not having a lot of loyalty to your position, and they may question your employability. So if you have a lot of jobs in a short period of time, this is also going to be another reason that you're going to want to use that functional resume. Now, you can just pick and choose those positions that are most relevant to the job that you are applying to and make sure you're focusing on those skills. And you can even narrow that down further and maybe list only the positions that you've held in the last 5 years. Now, the next concern we're talking about is being overqualified for the position. This is often something that I hear from my readers that are reaching more towards retirement age, and they're looking to cut back on that professional career that they've had and really start focusing on work that they really love or that offers them the flexibility that they're seeking. And a lot of times they feel that because the positions that they're applying for are a lot lower on that professional skill than what they're coming from, that they're being passed over for those positions. Now again, this can be something that you can play up with that functional resume. Make sure you're taking a look at that job listing and picking out those skills and traits that they're asking for and making sure that you're including them on your resume. And you're also going to want to make sure that your cover letter explains that you're really interested in working for them, for their company, and that you're looking for a long-term career. And kind of address this before it pops up in an interview so that they know that you're not going to be bored with the position or that the salary isn't going to be high enough to keep you around. Let them know your intentions and why you're seeking out that job. Now, the final thing we're going to talk about today is proofread, proofread, proofread. We are sometimes the worst proofreaders when it comes to our own work. So you are going to want to not only take a look at your resume yourself, but maybe have a friend step in and give it a glance as well, just to make sure there's no spelling errors or grammar errors, because this can be something that disqualifies you off the bat. You know, even if it's something small as missing a comma or capitalizing the wrong words, these are things that can get you automatically disqualified for a position online. So have someone else take a look. And whatever you do, don't just rely on Word or Google Docs. Sometimes they make mistakes as well. Now, I hope you feel better about writing your next resume. Remember to choose the correct resume type, brainstorm your relevant work, keep your resume laser focused to the job that you want, and proofread. That's really all there is to it. Now, if you like today's video, please give it a like, share it with your friends, and make sure that you're subscribed. And make sure you check the description though for a link to that job search checklist that I mentioned. I will see you in the next video, and best of luck with your next application.